Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. So I've covered Jonathan Joly so many times now. Not that I'm stalking him, just that I'm covering him because he does a lot of nonsense. And the latest is no different. In the last video I did, I briefly touched on the fact that he was going to start up a new channel separate from the family channel, but I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. It's something to do with storytelling. He's called it Jonathan Joly Storyteller, something like that. So what he's doing is basically he's going to write some scripts and he's going to get his kids to act them out. That is the premise of it. However, so far not so good. He started his channel. He has 300,000 subs, which is not too bad, is it? It just goes to show his level of, the interest in him is still there. But his first video was, he put up that one. Remember the one that he did on TikTok? I've covered it a couple of times already, where it's a story of his own upbringing and his own life acted out by his trans child. I'm going to call him a trans child for the moment. I'll tell you why in a second. But he used this child to tell his story, which was very unfair and just wrong on so many levels. And at the end of the video, he got his children, both of them, or two of his children, to plug his book, which was fantastic. It really, really was. One of the main things which I had a problem with is the thumbnail and the title. It was trans child caught by angry parents, and it's got a picture of a frightened looking Edie on the front. That I think was quite inappropriate, very inappropriate, using his child. Now, the premise of that video was that it was about him, about Jonathan, not about Edie, but about Jonathan. And he's used his child on the front saying trans child. Therefore, it's clickbaiting his own child being trans. And that is clearly wrong. So no matter which way you spin it, John, it's wrong. Okay. I was reading the comments on that video to see what people were saying, and largely it was a lot of love and everything, right? Because he's still liked by certain quarters who overlook the fact that he exploits his kids, overlooks the fact that he exploits his trans child, and they don't mind, apparently. This one stuck out to me. Now, this is by a person called Lainey, and now a lot of you probably heard of her. From certain quarters will definitely have heard of her, but even if you are just from around the Ingham era, you may have heard of her because she was very good friends at one point with Jane, who is Chris Ingham's mother, and she was very much like a defender of the Inghams for a very long time. I'm not sure what her stance is on the Inghams now, don't know, but she was defending them for a long time. She was in direct contact, and I believe they met up with Jane, and this is what she had to say about Jonathan and his exploitation. Jonathan, I commend you for this beautiful video, and well done to Amelia and Edie for their brilliant acting skills. See, she just sees the surface level of what's going on. She doesn't look beyond, brilliant acting skills and exploitation. She doesn't get it, I don't think. For anyone who believes this is just you trying to promote your book, then they need to watch it again and again and again until they get the real message behind this. There may be a message behind it, but he was still promoting his book. 100% he was promoting this book. There was zero reason to include anything about his book in that video. zero. Okay, it wasn't even relevant to the story. So yes, the book is important to read, especially if this was you as a child and you were made to feel wrong for how you felt. Edie is not being exploited. Her life choice is being embraced. Sorry. Her life choice is being embraced by the whole family and also by Edie's friends, schoolmates, and everyone who will meet her. Well, that's two separate things. Being embraced by the family and friends and everything is good. You would want that. You would hope that your parents and friends would embrace your life choices. But that's separate to exploitation, because it's been put on the internet for people's pleasure or whatever reason is they're watching it, right? So it is exploitation. It's doing it for the money, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't put it up there. So I'm not quite sure what the solution to her brain malfunction is. If you believe this short film is anything but beautiful, then I feel sorry for you, and I truly hope you will look deep inside your soul and have a good think about it. Jonathan, this short film should be given an this short film should be given an award, and it should be used worldwide to promote taking our children's feelings seriously, whilst also fucking over their feelings by putting them on like Archie. You know, I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you? Even if at some time in her future Edie feels differently than she does today, she will always remember she was empowered by the people closest to her amazing family. Yeah, if she changes her feelings, she'll no longer be a she. Yeah, that's another matter, right? But if she changes her feelings in the future, it will be so much harder for her to change her mind, because millions of people have seen what her father's put out about her. She will not have the freedom of choice to come back from this, and if she does, it'll be so much harder for her to do so. Don't use that is the main problem that everyone has. It's not that she's becoming trans. It's not that she's too young or too anything to actually make the choice, or that she shouldn't be making a choice. It is purely for that last point I made. If she goes and decides in the future she doesn't want to become a girl anymore, then she won't have the freedom of choice that other people have to come back from that. She might end up living her entire life as a she when she's not comfortable doing so. So if you think that is beautiful, Lainey, please. Anyway, much love to Jonathan, Anna, Emilia, Edie, Alessia, and Andrea, and that should be another thing, that you should never be sending love to somebody else's children who you don't know. Right, so that was a really, I was disappointed in her comments, really, and I actually went to reply to the comment because I felt that strongly about it. So I went to reply to it, and much to my disdain, it seems that Jonathan's blocked me, right? And I know I talked about blocking before in the last video, so I don't want to keep dredging this up saying, oh, Jonathan's blocked me, oh, look how amazing this is, how special I am. I'm not special. He blocked me before I'd even seen the video, because I was already blocked. So he actually preempted blocking me. You know, I'm shocked at this. I really am. On that note, part of the channel at the moment, he's put a bunch of videos up there which are not really relevant to his channel, but I think that's just to show people that there's videos available. And he has put up a bunch of old podcasts. I don't know if anybody remembers, or if you didn't know, he and Anna used to do podcasts maybe a year or two ago, and one of them was where they spoke on a Zoom call to one of their most vociferous haters, trolls, right, on a call, a reformed troll it was, and it was quite a good insight. I'm going to play a little bit of it here so you can get a feel of it. I thought I'd just put it here because it's quite interesting. I remember watching it at the time when it first came out, so it's not that I've just found it just now. I did watch it at the time. It was quite interesting and brought a few things home to me. Not enough to make me stop.
Of like, what would it be like to have a conversation with somebody who has been trolling you for 6 or 7 years?
See, I often wonder about this. It would be a really lovely thing. I'd love to have a conversation with a troll. Sorry, with Chris. I'd be regarded as the troll in this instance. I don't regard myself as a troll necessarily, because people have different opinions on different things. Doesn't make them a troll. But I'd love to have a conversation with Chris. I feel like this podcast speaks to me a little bit.
You know, somebody who has been part of a forum and part of the abuse and part of the disruption in our career and our life and our family and everything. And we are about to have a conversation with that person. I'm excited.
So she's just to note, she's a reformed troll. She's no longer trolling.
I love that this person describes themselves as a reformed troll.
No longer trolling us. I cannot say that she is no longer trolling anybody else.
Okay. I feel like I know her. I don't know why. I feel like I know her.
Yeah.
Like, not personally, but like I feel like, I don't know.
It's again a very good insight. I wonder if Chris and Sarah feel this way about certain people. I mean, we all think that we know the people that we're talking about every day, but do they feel like they know us too?
Why?
Picking on them. It's this echo chamber of, insults, and it becomes okay to say the most horrible things on the daily basis. And I remember logging in after I hadn't for so long and just reading like, with the podcast coming up, I'll get a feel. I got through like a page of whatever the bullshit website is now. And it was just like the stupidest, smallest, dumbest things. Like,
see, that kind of echoes what I've been saying about some things more recently, and I've been guilty of a lot of the picking at very small things that people do. Some is more harmful than other things, but there are certain things that are worthwhile talking about, so kind of try and stick to that point and we'll all be fine, I think.
I try to keep up with your guys' content, but again, it's like life's busy.
Yeah, 100%.
And so from what I see, you're just living a nice, regular, like post, well, I don't know if you guys are about to go back into lockdown, but, you seem to like have a safety bubble anyway.
Yeah.
Like you just seem to live a regular, nice family life. And I couldn't find, like I was trying to correlate the things I've seen and the things people are saying, and I was just confused.
Because you're reformed, because you're not in that mindset anymore.
So I hope you enjoyed that little snippet of an insight into the minds of a troll and how a family vlogger thinks about trolls. So I'll link that video down in the comments below, in the description box below. So John, don't be saying that I'm just here hating on you, because I'm not. I'm sending people your way. Just calm down. Everybody else, please have a lovely day. It's getting a bit chilly out there, so wrap up if you're going out. Come back again tomorrow for another brilliant video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you again soon. Take care and bye bye.